What is up, beautiful souls? I think this is really, really important before I get into the reading, because I felt it from spirit as I was thinking about it, and I want to take the time to acknowledge it, especially, and it now makes more sense as I've taken time into the download and then meditating on the cards. It makes so much more sense that this thought, that this realization is so true and should be emphasized for what we're about to dig into. But I want to give my gratitude. I love what I do. I love connecting with the collective. I love connecting with my brother and sister. And I'm always reminded that when I go to do these readings, I put forth an intention. Yes, I want it to resonate with the most as possible. But also, if it's just for one of my brothers or one of my sisters, my work is done. Because just as important is the collective, so is to that of the individual. While energies are universal, and we all understand what sadness and happiness is, the way I experience it is very unique. It's very diverse, and it's what I can't help but wonder why Spirit has such, when God resonates through us and works through us and has the uniqueness of like that of a fingerprint. Your experience is that relevant. It's that important. And I can only touch bases on the understanding of the collective energy, of the energy being my first language, but to also hold space and understand that what you're going through, nobody at the end is going to really truly understand other than between you and God, divine. So that being said, thank you for letting me tap into your energy. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. It's taken me a minute, but as it's all come together, this reading is going to be for, as we all are, somebody very special. But I think this is to somebody that I think it resonates that you know you're here to do more. An awareness that you are a ripple, but I don't know that that's fully integrated into you just yet because of the shit you are going through, have been going through. Yet this reading comes with, I want to say, a breath of fresh air, because you have free will, you have the capacity and ability to make it through whatever is in your world right now. I believe this reading represents a transition. And this transition is significant in that you have work to do. And when I say you have work to do, you are here for something much bigger than living your 8 to 5. Maybe your 8 to 5 is helping the collective, but in a state of consciousness, that's the key word, right? When we live in the state of consciousness, when we live in our light, and we magnify this, that's what a light worker is, right? It's to bring light, shadow worker, whatever it may be, however you identify. Maybe you haven't yet to identify, but I'm going to tell you, you are here for more than just playing out the game. You are here for a deliberate reason. You are here to help the collective. And the only way to do that is first within, so without. So everything that has led you up to this point is a transition and integration. We're going to go further into it. But let me begin with the download, the meditation that I sat with before we pulled the cards. The first thing that comes to my mind is the lotus. Now, if you're not familiar with the lotus, you should look it up. But basically, the idea behind the lotus is there's no flower without the mud. The flower has to blossom through the mud. And you can't have one without the other, right? How can you know enlightenment without ignorance? Thinking you know without knowing. How can you know what mindfulness is until you've mastered your thoughts? How can you know one without the other in any area of life? You are it. In a world that seems dreary, dark, or murky, like that of the mud in which the lotus blooms, you too are the lotus that has bloomed. And your aura radiates it. You are the breath of fresh air. People know this and can feel it because of the energy you permeate into this world. You create a safe haven for many, especially when you make the conscious decision to stand in your power. The key word is consciousness. That is you in the state of mindfulness. That is the past that whispers of wisdom, and the future, which is the blank canvas. And in the moment is it cultivating the colors you wisely choose to play and create with. Now, if you could see what I saw in my image, right? When I say it's dark, it's dreary, here is this being of light, this aura, this essence that stands out. It's a beautiful flower that you can't take your eyes off of, right? That is you. But I'm struggling to fully encapsulate this energy and this download. But it says if you could see only if you could only see who you are, I don't think you're aware. What others see or how spirit sees you, maybe you know because you just are. But what you really need, and I hope you do know, is what a gift you are. Now this is the download. This is the images. These are the things that come to my mind as I'm integrating with the thing. And then I lay out these cards and I get the bigger picture that I'm not sure that maybe you're not fully conscious of that beauty that you radiate, this energy that you possess, that you are actually here for something bigger. I just don't know if you fully have grasped the magnitude of what you've come here to do. Maybe you still downplay it a little bit. And this is again where I say, like, we're a collective energy, but your experience is very unique, as is mine. But the energy I can come closest as I speak in terms of energy is when I was going through my own dark night. I knew in my heart that I've always wanted to serve. I always wanted to be part of that. I wanted to give. My heart has always been with the collective, with my brother and sister, and I just didn't know exactly what that all entailed. But what's interesting, in order to know that energy, and to be able to play out my dharma, I had to go through it. And I think that might be where you're at. So I pray that this reading can maybe help give you a better understanding. As we begin it, there's an underlining energy of the magician, but he comes in reverse, which meditating on is illusion, it's deception, or maybe a waste of talent. But it takes me a minute to get through this reading to really begin to grasp it. So bear with me, because you may be kind of up in the air as well, but I promise you, it all comes together. And it took me a moment. But the center of the reading comes with the Council of Light. Let me also clarify too. When I went to go do this reading, I've been asked to just trust, because it was a very unique, diverse range of cards I was using. But definitely right from the very beginning, could tell you this comes from my light worker, Work Your Light Oracle cards. This is the Council of Light, divine orchestration, helpers in the subtle realms, which tells me you are surrounded with your angels, your guides. You are not alone. Wherever you're at right now, your guides, your help, the assistance you seek is only but a prayer away. Nobody intervene. None of your guides will intervene unless you ask for help. But you've got a team behind you, and you're not doing this alone, even as isolating as it may feel. So what's your crossing energies? It's the Five of Wands. What's Five of Wands? It's confliction. There is, sometimes it's competition that is good to help raise, There's a healthy line of competition. And then there's also the unhealthy line of competition. But it's also a struggle. This just came to me, battling your own demons. Battling the emotions and trying to overcome them and to conquer and rise above and seeing things on a higher perspective. Oh my goodness, this is coming to me. When I was going through my own I wanted so badly to do like Jesus. I wanted to love from a higher understanding. I wanted to forgive like Jesus. I wanted to love like Jesus. I wanted to rise above it all, but to be human is to have genuine hurt, to have genuine experiences. And I'll just say it, for me, it was trying to overcome my need for retribution, my need for wanting somebody to get their own, because that's not my place, and I knew that consciously, but I battled it, and I was trying to rise into that, what would Jesus do mentality. That just came to me. But the crossing energies is that Five of Wands. It's that, and I'm feeling like you're trying to overcome your own demons and your own confliction, and then yourself. So then I ask, what is the problem? But what is it that your perception, where are you coming from? Help me understand, where is this beautiful soul in this? What is it that they're battling? What is this magician underlining energy of deception or a lack of talent? And this is where it begins to tell me kind of a telltale story. We got 3 different cards that flew out. It was beautiful the way that they set themselves up. It just plopped right in perfect place. But we've got 2 threes and a Fool. We've got the Three of Swords, which represents, you can't have the dark without the light. You can't feel whole and well without feeling broken and hurt. Three of Swords represents that heartache, which I think you're still working within yourself. But what's interesting is it also comes with the Three of Wands upright as well, which represents beginning to look forward. This moment of beginning to transition from one state to the next. Moving out of the pain into something more. Clarified with the Fool. Are you willing? Oh my goodness, another song just came to my mind. You're gonna have to look it up. Or maybe I'll try to find it. It's Pink, from Pink. It's something like, do I dare to be different? Do I dare to do different today? Do I dare to be... I'll try to look it up and put it in the description. But that's where you are in your head. Do I dare to move on? Do I dare to transform? Do I dare to be different than I ever was? It means you're going to have to get out of your being uncomfortable, even if the hurt is about all you really know right now. So what's really going on? Because, our perception and what is in reality can be awfully, awfully different sometimes. This comes with the Four of Cups in reverse. This, to me, which is really interesting, last time I did a reading, the Four of Cups in reverse came up, a different deck, but this came up again. Which represents, like, the real problem is seeing that there is a cup that's being extended to you from Spirit, from Divine, from the Source. Your Three of Cups that have already spilled over, well, that was what happened for you, not to you, but for you, so that you could see the other cup that God is extending to you. Those things that you went through are for you so that you can see the light, right? So you can get a better grasp of what maybe you are here to do, so you can have a better grasp of your work. But in order to do that, you had to go through the three cups that tipped over. But to see that God is extending, Spirit is extending another opportunity for you. And the real problem, God, I feel, is saying, and maybe because it comes reverse, is you actually beginning to acknowledge it, right? That Three of Wands, looking forward. Do I dare take the leap of faith? I see this new cup. I see it's time to move forward. And I'm not sure what's in that cup, but it's got to be better than what's already poured over, right? But there's hesitancy. And who can blame you for having a little hesitancy, right? That leap of faith can be very scary, especially when you've already experienced some dark shit. But what's the advice from Spirit? The advice from Spirit comes out with, again, three different cards. We have the Ace of Cups, but it comes in reverse. So what's the Ace of Cups in reverse? It is a symbol of your self-love, right? But it is being poured over. And when you pour things over, your cup becomes empty. And you can't give without my cup overfloweth, so I can give to others. I think you're feeling depleted right now. Thus, I think you're in the middle of this war, this battle, this darkness. But I do feel like there's a transition. Oh my gosh, I did that so backwards. So bear with me. I just realized. Because it comes with the Four of Cups, which means that this was the Page of Cups reverse. And I'll go back, I'll revisit that. But it still kind of has a significant meaning. Everything happens for a reason, so we're going to go flow with it. But here we come. We have the Ace of Cups, your self-love. Your cup is empty. The advice from Spirit is recognizing everything I just said, that there is a cup for you. There's a new cup. There's a new opportunity that's being presented. And it comes with judgment. Which to me, judgment represents, please remember, for every action, there is a consequence. There is an effect, good or bad. So first, come into thyself. Overfill your own cup. Turn that cup upright. Start giving to yourself the tender, loving care that maybe you've, and this has come to me, that you've seeked outside of yourself, but first needs to come within. And that is the dark night of the soul, right? That is learning to love that inner child wound. That is learning to show up for you in the ways that you were neglected so many times throughout your life, whatever that may be, very individual, but to your own, right? Whether it was experiences through school or being bullied, or what is it to you? But now you've got to give it to yourself. Recognize that Spirit is there saying there is more to be offered, and that is the advice from Spirit. Please see that there's another cup here. And judgment, do not forget, for every action, there is a consequence. Not only for you, but for others. In fact, I would highly recommend, and I may put this in the description box too as this is coming to me, the karmic lessons I learned through my own experience, because that's the collective energy I'm getting from this. Again, it's going to be very unique to yourself. If you've never seen that, I may put that in the description box too. But remember, it starts with self. I'm going to come take a jump back now. I know we're already about 20 minutes into this, but back to the Page of Cups reverse. This to me being what is the actual problem. I think Spirit's saying, I don't think, it goes back to this lotus. Do you know how beautiful you are? Do you know what you have to offer this world? Do you know that before you came, you had a proposition that you already knew you were going to have an influence into this world, that you were going to make a ripple effect, and it was going to be tremendous and so needed? I feel like that being in the position, what actually is the problem is, the actual problem is that I don't think that you have the self-confidence or have developed the self-love. And I don't know that you've harnessed this actualization. Like, if you could only see what other people see in you, if you could see what Spirit sees in you, if you could just see yourself through the lens of other people. The problem is that I don't think that you really know how beautiful you are, and that your essence, like that of the lotus, where people can't take their eyes off of your beauty, the beauty being radiating of what you have to offer, and whatever that dharmic lesson is, that you are, whatever this is that you're going through, you're going to help others because of it, because you're going to have a fuller understanding. And I feel like you are in the midst of transitioning, and there is some hesitancy to help you progress forward. That's what I'm getting. And I feel like, so at the root of what's actually wrong is God, Spirit, your team is saying, please see what you have to offer. You have so much. Your self-doubt is a problem, is a hindrance. But hey, maybe you've just resided in this doubt for so long, and Spirit's saying, now it's time to rise into the assurance of knowing who you are, right? You can't know one without the other. That's a lot of what this basic of this reading is. I think you know what doubt is. I think you know what it means to be insecure. I think the low self-esteem. Now I think Spirit's saying, time to rise into what you actually are. So what's the actual potential outcome at what we're going through? Comes again with three cards. Very similar to the Judgment is the Justice. There is always going to be an effect and a consequence. Whatever you've been through, as I'm interpreting the dark night of the soul for this reading, it's my dog. You can hear it. There are blessings for every ounce of work you do. There is, again, I apologize. These are all my personal experiences, but I remember when I was beginning my own process, and I remember hearing God tell me, in my need. I'm going to link the video if you're curious about that journey at all. Like, who do you love more? And it was a very egotistical place I was in. But I was going through some hard stuff, and I just remember God telling me He loves us all equally, but promises the blessings to those who do the work. That is the justice. If you don't do the work, you also have repercussions for that. You also have cause and effect, whether you do the work or you don't. It's upright. I think you've been doing the work. I think you are in the midst of a transition, and maybe this video, maybe this reading is to encourage you to not give up, to keep going. Recognize that you are the beauty. You are the ripple. You have work to do, And God is not leaving you hanging. You've got a team around you. It comes with the Lovers in reverse, which doesn't necessarily mean, but there's a saying, I don't remember off the top of my head, but basically it's those relationships that are the closest to us that usually crack us open. I know for myself, that was my experience. And it was the karmic lesson that just got more and more loud, the knocking at the door so loud until they finally got my attention. And I went through the Three of Swords myself and went through this whole thing because I did not ever want to have this happen. I never wanted to go through what I was going through ever again. That was the awakening. That was the moment. And it's usually those who are closest to us that help mirror and help us understand who we are. That's what comes with me when I see that. And then it comes with the Eight of Cups, where I feel like God is saying, Spirit saying, there is more ahead. Time to walk away from this darkness. Take the leap of faith that where you are right now has helped you to get to where you're going, which is somewhere very, very beautiful. But you gotta leave the cups behind. In order to get to your 10 of Cups, you've got to move forward. Know that you are supported, and everything that's happened to you to this moment was for you. I shuffled the cards, but I was asked, and it may take a minute, it may come out really fast. I'm gonna feel into it. That's why I always shuffle beforehand, but I was asked to do the final piece of advice from Spirit, which is postcards from Spirit, to pull a card at the end of this reading. And for me to trust it. And I feel like that's it right off the bat. So let's see what the advice from Spirit is as we get ready to close out this reading. Hope flows. Dear you, oh my, things are stirred up and change is upon you. This is cause for celebration. No need to be nervous, but know that it's okay to be afraid when faced with the uncertainties of life. The funny thing is that courage doesn't get mustered in the absence of fear, rather in spite of it or even because of it. Did I say that right? The funny thing is that courage doesn't get mustered in the absence of fear, rather in spite of it or even because of it. Step into the unknown now. Let go of the branch you are clinging to. And let Spirit take the wheel and help steer you to your highest good and most wonderful adventures. All you need to concern yourself with is choosing courage as your ally. Leave the rest up to us. There's a load of miracles being shipped your way. Remember what philosopher Joseph Campbell said? Take one step toward the gods and they will take 10 towards you. We are all doing the destiny cha-cha on your behalf. That's right. Don't be afraid to dance. Loving you always. Oh, beautiful. That really is. That's a really beautiful reading. Oh my gosh. You've got this. You have got this. It's a transition. It is the caterpillar that's in the cocoon, and now you got to break free. Your wings to become. The miracles are being shipped your way, the highest good and most wonderful adventures. I'm looking for one in particular. As you step into the unknown, which is the Fool, which we spoke about, you are, whoa, look at all those allies supporting you. Doing the destiny cha-cha-cha. You are destined for this. I feel it with everything inside me. You got work to do. You are the beauty in this world. And it's time for you to recognize it. Take the leap of faith. Wherever that means in your journey. God, I hope I articulated all that correctly. Please let me know. I know that this may only help one person. Maybe it's a collective. But I do trust that Spirit will find the one that needs to hear this. The ones. Hopefully, maybe just the one. If one, it's more than enough. My work is done. I have so much love for you. The lotus is a beautiful flower. The story behind it is beautiful. I will, for my own memory, put in the pink song. I will link a video to what I've learned about karmic justice, if you're curious. That being said, I love you with all my heart. Thank you for sharing your energy with me. It is precious, it is divine, something I don't take lightly. And as always, until next time, namaste, beautiful souls.